Your heart began to race in your chest, and you let out a faint sigh. You were at such a loss to what to say, as much as you didn't want to admit it. You had indeed fallen in love with him, but you still figured that he could do much better. He should find another woman to be his wife, a woman who is warm, just as he is, and not cold as ice. You began. Please tell me you're not just saying you love me because you only find me attractive. You ask him, praying that was not the real answer. Kojiro's unwavering stare told you no lies as he gave you an earnest but proud smile, further proving the lengths he would go through just to have you. That's not the important thing, my love. I love everything about you, and I love being with you. I don't want to hide it any longer. He tells you. Don't you feel the same? I do, but a life with me brings nothing but misery. I'm an Okiyana. Everywhere I go, a cold follows. You say, you may catch a cold. I can deal with it. Besides, I simply would mind spending my life wrapped in a blanket with a nice warm bowl of chicken noodle soup. He beams. Also, you don't need to worry because I'll keep you warm, my love. No risk seemed too great for him, and truthfully, it was enough to win your heart over. But wouldn't you rather keep your prospect as a young bachelor? You asked him. Nope. He replies bluntly, his smile only widening. I chose you to be my wife. I'm in love with you, Yin, Okiyana of Okiyama, and I would love nothing more than to share my life with you. I want to be your husband. Your jaw dropped. You swear you could feel his entire body vibrate with excitement. So, would you accept me, just as I have accepted you? He asked you, gazing at you with passion. Still speechless, you inwardly yelled at yourself to say something, but your mouth felt dry like wood. Eventually, you do. Are you being brutally honest? You ask him while trying to keep your emotions from overwhelming the same Arintha. I am. He inquires lightly, a faint blush dusting his cheeks. Tears of joy begin to appear in the corners of your eyes as your expression softens, as a smile starts to grow on your lips. Well, there's something I need to tell you, you say. Since he was being honest, do you suggest you do the same? When you first arrived in Kazana, the reason I followed you was because I became attracted to you, you admitted. At first, I didn't really understand what came over me. You looked away from him, blushing shyly. I was so captivated by you that I felt I needed to be closer to you. I guess you could say that I was like a moth being drawn to a flame. You gave a dry laugh at the cliched joke. Suddenly you were quickly pulled against his chest as strong arms wrapped tightly around your waist. Kojiro then leaned down and buried his face in the crook of your neck, his warmth quickly engulfing you like a flame that literally takes your breath away, and filled you with so many emotions that it almost felt like you were about to suffocate. Ko? You were taken aback when Kojiro's body trembled a little, and you felt something moist dampen your neck. Holy shit, is he crying? You thought, mindlessly wrapping your arms around him. Is he crying out of sadness or happiness? You didn't know, but it's too much. You didn't want this beautiful man to cry. Ko, are you crying? Please don't cry. You shuddered, not sure what to even do. Eventually, he lifts his head, and to be met with the biggest, joyful expression you've ever seen. I'm just so happy, he exclaims, his loud excitement tone catching you off guard. Well, you don't have to yell, you exclaimed, back with a pout. Sorry, you're still yelling. I know, it's just I love you. Great, I love you too. Now stop yelling. Okay, you're still yelling. Kojiro closed the gap between you as his lips pressed against yours, shutting you both up with a passionate kiss. months of it building over and over, eating away at him, whether you were in his presence or in his thoughts. Finally, it eased in desperate need to feel your lips against his. Your eyes widened in both disbelief and shock. He was actually kissing you, and you weren't fighting him. The unexpected warmth of his lips against yours sent a shiver down your spine, causing your heart to race with a mixture of excitement and confusion. You can feel the heat of his tongue lingering on your skin, leaving you breathless and unsure of how to react. In that moment, time seemed to stand still as you tried to make sense of the emotions swirling inside you. The intensity of the movement makes you hard to focus on anything else but the sensation of his embrace, leaving you feeling both vulnerable and excellent at the same time. Somewhere in the moment, Kojiro pulled you closer to him, and eventually you gave in and retorted the kiss, wrapping your arms around his neck. Both your bodies pressed against one another as Kojiro slowly began to kiss you more hungrily, and you took every piece of him as if he was the only thing you'd been so desperately searching for. In this case, he is. As you returned the kiss with just as much fire and passion, all your feelings were pouring out into your first actual real kiss. Soon, you both pulled away for a much-needed air as you panted a hot shudder passing your natural auburn lips as you and your lover gazed at each other affectionately. Nothing could ever change now how I feel about you. I don't care if you're cursed. I love you forever, Yin, he says. Are you sure? I might make your life hell, you teased, feeling all kinds of sappy emotions looking at his joyful expression. The flame pillar nodded, pressing his forehead against yours. I can live with it, as long as I have you as my beloved wife. He smiles. Your face turns bright red as you then lunge at him out of embarrassment, half expecting to topple him so he couldn't say anything else cheesy. You shoved your face against his chest, fingers clinging to the fabric of his hiori. Stop being a hopeless romantic idiot. Kojo only laughed at your reaction before wrapping his arms around your waist, pulling you closer to what felt like a warm heater. You yelped and when suddenly fell backwards, taking you down with him, the both of you falling back on first into the cold fluffy snow. Your breath hitched as at the awkward position of being on top of him as the beautiful and red golden eyes glanced up at you lovingly. I do love you, Yin, he confesses proudly. With all my heart. You sighed before giving him a small smile. This strange, flame-haired dork was utterly hopeless. Do you love me, my snowflower? He asked, glancing up at you innocently. You're an idiot, Ko. You say it softly. So, is that a yes? Yes. Now, can we please get off the ground? You'll catch a cold. He grins, expecting before pulling you down for another kiss. Though surprised, a light giggle escapes you as you wiggled until your arms were free, gently cupping his handsome face and kissed him back passionately. With him, you firmly left loved and appreciated. All your worries seemed to vanish, and Kojo was determined to make you smile and love you as much as possible. Otsu hummed a soft tune as she continued to clean the bowls. It's been nearly an hour since Kojo went looking for Yin, and she prayed that everything went well. Soon she heard the soji slide open and turned to see Kojo and you standing in frame. A delighted smile crossed her lips as the sight of you two holding hands. She also noticed the way you were clinging on Kojiro's arm and the lover's blush on his face. The older woman didn't need any explanation as to what had just occurred between you two. All that matters is that you two are finally together. I see things went well, she says. Kojiro only grinned before nodding while you looked away, feeling too embarrassed to answer. I am happy for both of you, she smiles. Ko, stop it. You're squeezing my hand too tight. You mumbled softly. Kojiro's hand only tightens around yours. No doubt he had no intentions of letting go anytime soon. Well now, then that's settled. Are you ready to begin your second test, Rengoku? Otsu asked him. Kojo, feeling re-energized and even more pumped, only nodded. I'm ready, he replied. Otsu's kind smile only transformed into a warped and demented grin. Good. Now strip.